I heard something this morning. I sent it to my football friends in church, and it was a conversation between Thierry Henry, all right, and James Carragher, who was Thierry Henry. People know him as Arsenal, and they asked them a question about whether or not they were asking Thierry Henry about being a coach and the fact that he failed in Monaco and all of that. That does he have that he has a reason to prove something and all of this? And he said, look, what he has found out, and very, very correct. He says what he has found out is that great footballers who became great coaches needed great players to win things. So when they asked James Carragher, and I explain what I mean here, he said when he sat down, when he got to the point of retirement of football, he would sit down inside the what do you call it now? The room. What do they call it? Huh? No, what do they call this place when people go players after they play? That is changing room. All right. He'll be there, in changing room there, and he will listen. He said, nobody, said I'm saying this here, there was nobody on the team that understood football. He said I wasn't as skillful and not as them, but I knew the game. I understood football. He said I knew it. He said, but I thought deeply. I had won the Champions League. We had made money from playing football at the top level. He said, so I asked myself, am I going to become a coach? He said, I looked around. The top coaches when I was leaving were Jose Mourinho, Arsene Wenger, Alex Ferguson, and there's one more person, and Benitez. That's his name. Yeah, Benitez. All right? Those are the focus. He said, and I looked at them, none of them were great players. In fact, Jose Mourinho never played football. So he said, I realized that those of us that played at the highest level who had made money, there was no motivation for us to really coach and excel in coaching. That was the problem. Those other ones knew football, they didn't play it, so they wanted to prove to the world that they knew this game. So they came into coaching with all of that, their skill and all of that, and were doing that and doing that. And then when I combined what Theory was saying, it was correct. That the two people you talk today who played football at the highest level, all right, who also have coached and won, you find out that Pep Guardiola, he went to Barcelona, they had great players. He went to Bayern Munich, they had great players. There was money in the team. He went to Manchester City, they had great players. Zinedine Zidane went to Real Madrid, they are great players. None of them has built from scratch. Give them Bolton Wanderers, you will know that. Yeah. Are you following what I'm saying here? Mourinho took Porto and went to win the Champions League. Do you get what I'm saying here? When you start something and you don't have, there is a wisdom that you have. Do you get what I'm saying? And so God takes you through paths there. You see, once bitterness wants to come, just know that that bitterness there is the direct opposite, which means it's a wisdom that descends from, it comes from beneath. It is, the Bible says, essential, is motivated by saying, this is not the divine wisdom. Go to God and say, what is it that I'm not seeing in this particular situation? Because there's so much. The Bible says this wisdom cannot, you might think I know, you might think you are right, but the truth about the matter is that when somebody gets that wisdom and they begin to unfold things to you, then you realize that, I didn't know anything.